When you think about it, a big part of life seems to be all about solving problems. In some way or another, over and over and over again, we first recognize that we are in some kind of undesirable state, then identify how we would like things to be different, and then in some way we try to come up with a solution that will get us there. From getting groceries, to getting paid, to scoring a goal in that game you're playing, in every single waking moment of our lives, there sure are a lot of problems that we are constantly working to try and solve. One thing that we don't tend to think very much about, however, is this part right here. What goes on during that solution-making step? So what I'm going to show you today is how to turn that into a really powerful place so you can have the ability to come up with better solutions for the problems you face every day. So to use as an example, we need a problem to solve. So let's take this jumbled up Rubik's Cube. So we recognize that this is where we are and we want to get here. Maybe our desired end state is to get all the same colored squares to be on the same sides of the cube. But before you start, let's first imagine that this is how you see the world. Things look much more different like this. How would you interpret the objective, get all the same colored squares onto the same sides of the cube? What kind of solution would you come up with? Well, you might not actually have to turn any pieces of the cube at all, because you could actually just do something like this. See, now I've got all the white tiles and all the black tiles collected on their own sides of the cube. That's solved, right? Here's what's going on here. Solutions are derived from our perception, meaning we come up with a solution based on how we are able to see and understand the problem. But our perception is derived from our awareness. So awareness determines perception, and perception determines the solution. So what happens if you increase your awareness? Let's say instead of only being aware of pure black and white, you're able to also be aware of all the gradients of gray that exist in between. Now you're looking with a higher level of awareness. How does that change your experience of perceiving this problem? It's a little more nuanced, isn't it? These gray squares are different than these ones. With this level of awareness, you'd probably start experimenting with a solution that involved rotating the individual rows on the cube, rather than just turning the whole cube at once. Interesting, right? That's a completely different solution than what we came up with the first time that we had tried. So what happens as we continue to increase in awareness? Say with a bit of time you learned how to see blue. That might help you solve the puzzle easier, especially with the blue parts. Or, at the same time, it's possible that because blue stands out so much to you, you might actually think that the point of the puzzle was just to solve for the blue side and to disregard the other colors. But you get the point, right? Solutions come from perception, and we could come up with tons of different solutions, all depending on how we perceive the problem. Also, you can't come up with solutions that expand beyond your perception. Perception only expands from higher awareness. So now imagine, what if you and another person were both working on the same problem, but one of you is aware of blue and the other person was only aware of orange? Sounds crazy, right? Can you imagine? Thank goodness our world isn't like that. It'd be like two people could look at the exact same thing and have totally different ideas on how to solve it, right? Except that's exactly the kind of world we live in, isn't it? If you find yourself in a situation where two people have conflicting solutions, it's because they both have different perceptions. And if they both have different perceptions, it's because they both are coming from different backgrounds of awareness. So we all just need to grow in awareness, right? And you want to know what the mother of all awareness is? The most important kind of awareness that any human being can benefit from understanding better? Self-awareness.